How long did it take for my first novel to actually become successful? I'm a multi-time best-selling author. I have had the number 774 and 87th best-selling book out of every book in existence on Amazon, and I've been doing this for a really long time, but my first novel did not take off right away, and yours will not either, unless you are with like the biggest of big 5 publishers and they're putting a ton of money into marketing for you, and then you didn't do it, they did it. So if you're doing this, it's going to take you a little bit of time to build up your success for your novel. Even if you have pre-orders, even if you have an existing audience, it's going to take a lot of time for you to pop off. It does not happen right away for almost everybody. And in the pre-TikTok times, it took a while. I came in during the well before TikTok times, and it took a very long time. It took several months for my book to finally pop off. We're going to get to that in a second. But I will say now that TikTok exists, it is so much easier. I 7x my book sales in just a couple of videos, and you can do things like that as well, even for your first novel. So it's a little bit different, but for the majority of you, it will take a while for your first book to pop off. We talked about this in many episodes in many of our live streams. It will take time and effort for you to build it up, and most people will not try to read your book until you have the full series out. That is the entire trilogy, series, whatever, because they've been burned before with things that have not been completed. So you're going to take a lot of time to get popular. My book became popular because I was smart enough to do some advertising. I did a BookBub, and when BookBub mentioned me, it rocketed it to the 7th position in the entire Amazon store. So because a big name entity talked about me to thousands upon thousands of people, I had 27,000 downloads in the first hour after they talked about my book, and 33,000 by the next day. It was a really big opportunity for me to be talked about by a big name thing, and I paid for that. I paid for that ad. If you can find some big name person to talk about you, you can pop off. If you can create a TikTok that is going to take off, you can do really well with that. If you can pay for ads with companies like BookBub or Robin Reads or any of those things, you can do really well for that. But you have to understand, if you're just kind of putting your book out there and you're not doing all these extra things, it's going to take a really long time to build up that audience, even if you're on social media, even if you're doing marketing, even if you're running Amazon ads and Facebook ads and things like that. It can take a very long time. Your first book is not going to pop off unless there's some extreme extenuating circumstance that makes you the exception to the rule. So just be aware that as you were creating your novels, it does take time. It took months, many years ago, for my book to become popular before really the rise of social media. We had kind of like Facebook groups. We kind of had Instagram. We a little bit had YouTube. But it popped off because a big email list talked about me. So you need that awareness. You need people to be seeing it, and you need somebody to back you when it comes to building up that first book, when it comes to doing really well with that. So just be aware, it's going to take a little bit of time. Do not think it's going to pop off right away, and do not think you're a failure because it didn't pop off right away. For most authors, it can take years to gain popularity and the traction that I gained pretty quickly in my career because of the things that I was doing. And that I am an exception. I am an exception to the rule. And you might be as well. I hope that you are, but just be aware that you're not spending your time agonizing over something that didn't work the way that you wanted. Just keep putting the effort in, keep writing the books, keep doing the things, keep running the ads, keep doing the socials, and eventually you are going to get there, hopefully sooner rather than later, especially now that we have Book Talk to go to, because it allows us direct access to so many people, and you can go viral organically if you do it well, if you do it right. The more content you put out there, as we talk about, the easier it is to grow, to be seen, and to get those book sales up. Drop your questions down below and follow along for more tips and tricks on how you can navigate the world of your author life, from your writing to your publishing to your marketing, to make this your best author life ever. And if you want to talk about how social media can change the game for you, we have tons of episodes, but I'll answer more questions, so drop them below.